always entertaining, Oli Thompson, finally in London. I'm very happy to see you again. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Great to see you as well. You know, I've missed the KSW show. I've missed our interviews. I always enjoy talking to you, probably more than anybody. Always get the good questions and the good conversation. It's been over, like I said, been over a year, and it's long overdue that I came back on this show because I really enjoy myself.
Mm-hmm. You've met Michał Włodarek, undefeated fighter, for the first time at the weigh-in. What did you see inside his eyes, or just by shaking his hand or anything?
It was interesting. It's interesting psychology to when you meet people and what they're like. You know, there was certainly some mutual respect today. So I think we're both going to save the energy for the fight.
Mm-hmm. And since he's undefeated, one thing, if you could point the weak point of undefeated fighter, what would that be?
You know, if you've had it your own way all the time, you're confident, and as long as it keeps going in that direction, everything's fine. But you don't learn about a fighter when he's winning all the time, or you learn about the fighter when he's up against it, when he's tired, when he's losing 2 rounds and it's the 3rd round, for example. And we don't know who he is yet in this way, and we'll find out. I will find out too. It's my job to put him in that position and then ask them questions, and then it will be his job to answer them.
That's always a different answer depending on the fighter, about fighting in front of your own crowd. What do you think about that?
No, I'm really happy to be in the UK for a KSW show in London, because it's a big occasion. You know, it's the first time. So for that, I'm really happy. You know, the UK is a really diverse country. You know, of many different nationalities and stuff. So in reality, there isn't much home and away. But it's nice to make my opponent travel to me, and hopefully he'll feel a little bit more out of his element, and I can feel a little bit more in mine. The reality is we're both staying in a hotel, we're both eating in a restaurant, and we're both away from home.
And why are you staying in the hotel? It's your hometown.
Well, I live on the south coast. It probably on the map doesn't look too far,
yeah,
but in London it's a long time.
Yeah, I was there today, so I know what you mean. 3 wins in a row, of course. Is that a new, refreshed Oli Thompson?
Yeah, I guess so. Last year, the calendar year, 2014, was one to forget for me for different reasons. You know, there's 100 reasons I could tell you, but it doesn't even matter now. It's in the past. This year's a real positive year. I'm enjoying what I do. I'm winning fights, and you know, my heart's in what I'm doing. Last year could have been a very good year. Sometimes the smallest little differences can put you on the wrong track or the right track. And I'm just really happy to snap out of it. I've got, like I say, three wins this year. The last one being against a very highly ranked guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm just really bringing that positivity into every training session I go into, and every fight I'm having. There's just some mentality changes, some slight technical changes. They weren't overnight, but they've kind of been bringing in for a while. But sometimes it takes a little while for them to click, and sometimes things click at one time rather than overnight, you know. And like I say, it gives me a real positive atmosphere moving forward. I don't like losing any fight. I don't like losing any competition. I don't like losing any argument. I don't like losing anything. So for me to have the year I had the year before this year was really quite soul destroying. You know, you have to dig your way out of it, because you know, winning and losing can be contagious, and they can be a bit more of a habit. And I haven't made a habit over my 35 years of losing too much. And as we were saying before, I've kind of just made some self-discovery about what I need to do, about how to pull myself out when I haven't given enough. And it's a positive situation for me to be enjoying what I'm doing, because this is a hard sport for everybody. Mm-hmm. If you're making millions or making nothing at all, one way or another, it's a hard sport to come into and be successful at a high level. So you have to, if you're not enjoying it, it's going to be a lot harder. But the fact that I'm enjoying it now means that when I get home after training, you know, I've got a good, satisfied feeling, and I like what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so as you said, a 3-fight win streak, good vibe about me, and I've taken it back to what made me a force when I first started fighting. You know, I was a powerful guy who could fight long fights as well, and you don't get many of them. You know, you see a lot of the big powerful guys will fight very good short fights, and a lot of smaller, more nimble guys will fight good long fights. So I have to impose myself on the fight. and so far this year I've done that with good results and with no damage.
Elbow rule, the new rule. You like it more, or you would prefer without the elbows?
I'm really happy to hear the elbow rule. Not just for me personally, technically, but I like one set of rules for everybody. I don't like, the average day-to-day fan doesn't compete in this sport. They just watch it, and the sport has to have the fans on side. The sport doesn't exist without the fans, Otherwise, we're just a bunch of guys beating each other up for a bit of fun. We might as well go and drink and do this. So it's about the fans, and the fans need to understand what we're doing, how we're doing it, what the boundaries are. Then we don't have to explain. Then we don't have to say, yeah, well, this is KSW rules, this is UFC rules, this is MMA rules, because it makes the sport look a bit unprofessional and sloppy. So the fact that we've got a sort of unified rule set is a positive in that point of view. I think technically, the sport's always had elbows. For me, I don't know what the reasons were originally why KSW didn't use elbows. It doesn't matter, but it's
TV rules or
possibly,
that rule the TV. Yeah,
it's progress for me because it's a dangerous weapon, but it's not so brutal that we can't show it in a fight situation. It's part of a Muay Thai. It's part of most of the different mixed martial arts federations. So it's good to be in line with that. And aside from that, I've always trained with using elbows. I've fought in federations using elbows before, so it's nice to not have to think about the rules during a fight.
And finally, how happy are you hearing that the judges and the referees are more international, more British? You haven't been lucky with scoring.
Yeah,
system.
I'm very. I don't know who the referee is in my specific fight, and I don't want to get into any personal battles with any referees. We have to coexist, and we have to keep refereeing my fights, and I want to win my fights in future. We all make mistakes, and we all have to carry on working and doing what we have to do. We've had our rules meeting. I've raised the points I wanted to raise, which has been waiting to raise them for over a year now. I feel good about myself just for doing that. Don't know if I really got the answers I'm looking for, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The reality is, I just make these points just to let you know that I'm watching, and you need to be consistent. I don't want to be too controversial about it. I don't want to really dig too deep into it. But yeah, some of the decisions we've had on lots of shows as well. Sometimes you get a bad decision. Sometimes you get a bit of a shocker. I might have had a shocker at one time, but maybe just raising this point without going crazy about it, just raising it in a mature way, puts a spotlight on these guys, which they need. I think officials need spotlight on them because it's a high pressure job, and there's still going to be mistakes, but they need to feel the world's watching them because the whole result and the whole end product of what we do, what we train for, is in their hands, and I know it's a big responsibility. And there's been a couple of incidents, and I wasn't necessarily too happy. It's taken me a year now, but I've kind of got to the point where I'm over that, and I'm not so critical of other people who may have made mistakes on for example, my last fight in KSW. I've erased that from my mind. I'm more critical of not seizing my moment and being the best version of me I could have been, and then there would have been any doubt about it. But I don't feel like these situations have affected my credibility or my ranking in this federation. I think that me and Włodarek, is that how you pronounce it? Włodarek. I feel like our fight here is the main mixed martial arts heavyweight fight on this card for relevance. No disrespect to anybody else. I just feel like our fight has relevance to where either of us can go from here. And I feel like, especially in KSW, we got to be the two guys right now with the last year or so of what's happened in our careers that are knocking on the door saying, maybe we could fight for the title sometime soon. So I think the stakes are high, and that's exciting.
It's true. So I'm happy you're okay. I'll be watching carefully. Good luck tomorrow.
Cool. Great speaking to you.
Thank you.